Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this chunky slouchy beret. And I don't recommend this at all for beginners because the stitches that are used are kind of difficult to get. Not only that, but it's not going to be a direct 1, 2, 3. You have to do this, you have to do that. You'll have to do a little bit of math to figure out how to get from this bunch to this section. So I don't recommend this tutorial for beginners or beginner advanced. I definitely said this is an intermediate project. So I'm going to be showing you how to make the hat itself, not the flower. This is the petite flower, so that'll be on another tutorial that I already have made. So if you're interested, you can just look up petite little flower. And that's it. For this tutorial, you're going to be using a 5mm hook, and also you're going to be needing a 5.5mm hook, which is a size H or a size I hook. Now, if your head tends to be on the large side of most hats, when you've crocheted a lot of hats, and they tend to be a little bit too small, then you probably have a larger head. So you probably just want to stick with the 5.5 or the size I hook. You probably won't even need the size H hook at all. My head always tends to be on the smaller side, so I need to reduce when I get to this part of the hat. I'm going to reduce to an H, size H hook, because it's really important that this part of the hat is almost like a headband, elastic kind, because as the hat is worn, it will get looser, and you want to be able to still have it hang on your head correctly and have this part hang down and have a nice slouch. You don't want the whole thing falling off. So it's important that this part is tight, snug, not too tight, but just keep in mind, if you can put it on your head and it's snug, then that's good, because it will loosen. Also for this project, you're going to be needing 2 skeins of yarn. 1 skein will not be enough. So make sure when you start this project, because of course I'd never made one of these hats before, I didn't know. So I started making the project and I realized I needed to have another skein, so I ended up having to switch to this, which I think is a different ply. That's why this one kind of looks funny. But I'm going to make this hat here today using all 1 ply, and hopefully it's going to turn out nice. We want to start off using our 5.5mm hook, size I hook, and we're going to be starting on the back part here. So choose whatever color that you want to use for the back part. And like I said, I'm just going to use the same kind here. So take your 5.5mm hook, create your slip knot, and chain 3. And then slip stitch in the beginning stitch to form a ring. Then chain 1, and then in this ring here that you just made, you want to work 12 double crochets inside that ring. So this will be 1, 2, and you just keep on doing it till you get a total of 12. Okay, I have 12, and now you want to slip stitch in that beginning double crochet to form a ring. Now chain 1, and now we're going to be doing what's called the double crochet crossover stitch. What you do is each stitch here has a front and a back loop. You're going to be using the back loop only and doing a double crochet. So going in through just this back stitch, do a double crochet. And again, going in through just that back stitch only, do a double crochet. And do that one more time. So you've done 3 double crochets using just that back stitch only. And now we want to come in here, and using this front stitch that we skipped before, we want to do a double crochet in each of those. So you're going to go back in through this first one. I turn my hook this way just to kind of be able to grab that front stitch and do a double crochet. And again, grabbing the next front stitch, do a double crochet. And then again, grabbing that front stitch, do a double crochet. And I have a beginner tutorial on this stitch. So if you look up double crochet crossover stitch for beginners, you'll find it really easily. And you can find the tutorial that'll teach you how to do this. If you've never done it, or if you can't see or know what back loop or front loop is. But anyway, it's done in sets of 3, so you'll always be doing 3 double crochets in the back stitch and then going over, crossing in front, and double crocheting in those 3 front stitches. You just continue doing this all the way around. Okay, when you get to the end of the round, you want to slip stitch into that beginning stitch. And I guess that would be, the center would count as round 1, so that's round 2. So to start round 3, again, you want to chain 1, and you repeat what you just did last round. You'll be doing the double crochet crossover stitch through this whole round as well. So for round 3, repeat and do the double crochet crossover stitch. Okay, just got done with round 3. And again, you want to slip stitch in that beginning stitch. Okay, so you've gotten 2 rounds done of the double crochet crossover stitch, which brings you here. So you need to do 2 more rows of double crochet crossover stitch. So for rounds 4 and 5. So for 2 more rounds, do the double crochet crossover stitch. Okay, I got my 4 rows of double crochet crossover stitch done. And now for round 6, you want to chain 1 and then double crochet in the same stitch. Same stitch that you slip stitched into in the round, and chain 1 and then double crochet in that same stitch. Now you want to skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and in this 3rd stitch we're going to be doing a back post double crochet. So to do a back post double crochet, you go in through the back, so you're going to be working on the post. So you go in through that 3rd stitch and then come out through this other stitch, pull up the loop and do a double crochet. And then you want to skip 2 stitches, and then you'll do a front post double crochet. So skip 2, and you want to go in through the front and grab that post and do a double crochet. And then you're going to be alternating that back and forth for the whole round. So you just did a front post, you want to count over 2 stitches, and then in the 3rd you'll do a back post double crochet. And then again skip 2, 1, 2, and then this 3rd you want to do a front post. So you want to grab up that post to the front and do a double crochet. So you want to keep alternating, skipping 2, do back post, skip 2, do front post, and continue to do this all the way around. Okay, I just got done with round 6, and I have 62 stitches, but it's not so terribly important. If you've got 60, 64, 62, it's okay. So when you get done with this round, you want to slip stitch in that beginning double crochet that you did. And again, chain 1, and we're going to be repeating what we did here. So that was round 6. For round 7 through 9, for the next 3 rows, you're going to be doing the double crochet crossover stitch. And again, you just go right into that same stitch you just slip stitched into and do your first double crochet. Then you go into your next, then your next. back loops only. Then go back through the front loops. So for the next 3 rows, do the double crochet crossover stitch. So keep doing that, and I'll see you here for round 10. Okay, I just got done with round 9. Now for round 10, we're going to be repeating round 6. You slip stitch in the beginning, double crochet, then chain 1, and then for round 10, you want to double crochet in the first stitch, the same one that you ended your round and slip stitched into and chained 1. And then now again you want to skip 2, and then you're going to be doing a back post. And it's okay if you want to go over, in between, doesn't matter. Just get your back post and then skip 2 and do your front post. And then you want to skip 2 and do a back post. So continue to do front post, back post, front post, back post until you get back up to the end again. Okay, this is the reason why this is not for a beginner. This is not just going to be a pattern that, I can tell you, skip 2, skip 3, and that's it. It's not going to be good enough because depending on how you skip, it's still going to be very difficult to get it exact. So it's best just to do, what we did, and then at this row, figure out how much that we need to decrease. So at this row, at the end of round 10, you need to count your stitches. So pause this video, take a moment, and count your stitches. Now, for me, I have 169 stitches. And before I had you skip 2 and then go into the third, which means every 3. So if I try that now, say, let's divide 3, let's divide 169 by 3. It would give me 56 stitches. So the idea behind this is you want to get to 56 stitches. So if you've gotten more than 169 stitches, you want to divide it by 3 and say it comes out to be more. Say it comes out to be 60 stitches. Then you know that you need to at least skip 4 stitches instead of just 3. Skip 4 stitches at least 4 times, giving you the 56 stitches that you need. And if you have less, say you have 40 something, then you know that you need to only skip 2 instead of 3. How many times that you need in order to get to your 56 stitches. So it's up to you to do the math. Okay, I'm getting to the end of round 11. Just slip stitching here. Just got done counting my stitches. Okay. Now for round 12, we're going to be doing the thick crochet mesh stitch. And if, like I told you before, if you have, like me, you tend to have more of a smaller head, then now you want to change to your 5mm hook. But if you tend to run into the problem where the hats are mostly small, you probably have more of a bigger head. So stay with the 5.5mm hook, or size I hook. But I have a smaller head, so I'm switching to my 5mm or H hook. So now for round 12, what you're going to do is chain 1, and then you're going to go 1 row below and do a double crochet right underneath that stitch that you slip stitched into. Now, to the side of every double crochet on the same row that you did your double crochet last row, to the right of it, you're going to want to put a double crochet. So you're going to be working in the last row in those skipped stitches from last row. So find your double crochet, which is here, and then just go and double crochet in that stitch to the right of it. And you want to do this for the whole round. So continue to do this, keep finding your double crochet. This is the one I worked my double crochet in, and then just go to the right and do a double crochet. Continue this all the way around for round 12. This round, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go to the left. See where we did the double crochet here? We're going to be following a line, and now we're going to be going into this, underneath this stitch. So see, this is 1 round, this is 2 rounds. So you want to go down under this stitch. And again, see, 1 row, 2 rows. I'm going to go under this stitch. And you're going to just be gathering those 2 stitches this round. You just want to continue to grab those 2 for this entire round, and I'll see you back here. Okay, that was the end of round 13. So for round 14 and on, it should be exactly the same. I'm going to be slip stitching in my beginning stitch here, and you want to make sure that you kind of pull that tight so there's not a big gap. You want to chain 1, and now you're going to be always working in the stitch here to the right of the double crochet you did from the previous round. So in this case, it'll be here. Because see, this one is 1 row down, so you're going to be working in 1 row up. So you're going to be doing a diagonal. Next round, you'll be working in this space. So you're always going to be moving 1 row down than where you are. So we're on this row, so we need to go down 1 row to the right of the double crochet we did last round. And this is called the thick mesh stitch. And to have a slow motion tutorial if you need. Again, this is the double crochet we did last round. I want to go 1 row down and to the right of this stitch. So you're just going to be continuing to do this. This is round 14 that we're starting, and we need to do to round 39. So on all said and done, we'll have a total of 27 of these rounds. We've already done 1, 2, 3. So we'll have 24 more rounds, and I'll see you back here when at the end of round 39. Okay, now that I've got it going a few rows, I'm going to show you how, now that you're starting this thick mesh stitch, how to end and begin a round. So when you get to the end of the round, you slip stitch in the beginning double crochet, and when you do that, it kind of leaves its own stitch here, which, as you can see, kind of goes down the line. It's about the only noticeable line that there is. But anyway, when you slip stitch in the beginning double crochet, there's no need to chain 1. Just yarn over and find your row down, which is here. This is your actual row you just finished. This is the row down, so go underneath it. And then put your double crochet there. And that's how you'll begin the round every time. And I'll show you that again. All you need to do, finish my last stitch here, is slip stitch in the beginning, double crochet, and then no need to chain 1, go down 1 row and do your double crochet. And you'll be doing it just like that every round. And yes, it does leave a little bit, but it won't be noticeable once the hat is on you. Okay, welcome back. Okay, now I hope you finished your 27 rows of your thick crochet mesh, and it seems like I keep getting messed up on which round I'm on. I think I miscounted one round, so I think that this is now going to be 41, that we just finished 40. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing the steps along with me, and you've done a total of 27 rounds, the thick mesh stitch, you're okay. Okay. So at this point, you want to switch to your 5mm hook. I recommend, if you've been using the 5mm hook, the size H hook, that you go ahead and continue to use the 5mm hook for this row and the brim. And if you've been using the 5.5mm hook, if it's fine, it's snug, and it's good on you, then fine, stick with the 5.5. Okay, so for this round, we're going to be trying to close up our little holes here. And what we do to do that is, instead of doing a double crochet this round, we're going to do the thick mesh stitch again, but this time we'll be using single crochets. So I'm going to go down one row down as usual, but I'm going to do a single crochet. So just continue to do the mesh stitch like you did before, except this time you're going to be using single crochets. And it's just going to be closing up these holes here. So for round 41, I'll see you back here at the end, and I'll show you how to start your rim. Okay, that's the end of round 41. So for round 42, to do the rim of the hat, all you need to do is just continue. This is your first stitch. There's no need to just slip stitch in there. If you want, you can go ahead and place a marker, a piece of yarn or something like that here. When I say place a marker, it means you just use any different color yarn, or if you have a professional marker, whatever, just anything that lets you know that this is where your beginning is, of a different color. And then whenever you get back around to this part again, you'll know that this is where you started. But all you need to do is do 5 rows of single crochet. Just got done with my 5 rows of single crochets. I'm going to slip stitch, not in the next stitch, but the stitch after that. So I'm going to skip a stitch and slip stitch. Kind of evens out the surface a little bit there. And I'm going to chain 1, cut my yarn enough to work in with my tapestry needle. Move your marker. And that's it. You can make a flower if you want for it. I bet that would look pretty. And that's what the back looks like on mine. Just completely different from the size that this one was. I mean, this one's huge compared to this one. This one's kind of a uniform and pretty. So I definitely think it was a ply of this yarn that wasn't doing so good with this one. So that's it. That's been the tutorial, and I hope that you like it. I hope that you like this tutorial and that it was easy to follow. And I'll make sure to put those links up for you so that you can find the beginning tutorial of these 2 stitches if you do want to give this a try. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.